For laps to go, the finish line is right there. And then bam, Kyle Busch makes his move. Not for the win. It's not for position, but for revenge. And in one single moment, he changed everything. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button right now, because we cover NASCAR drama like nobody else. Now let's get into it. Bristol Motor Speedway. It's April 13th, 2026. The Food City. 500. Bristol once again delivered a tense finish in the NASCAR Cup Series. Trace contact completely reshaped the outcome in dramatic fashion. Heavy, this is Bristol. A half mile of pure chaos. Short track, short tempers. And on this day, Kyle Busch had a score to settle. Act 1. The first incident, let's go back to lap 312. On lap 312 of 500, Riley Herbst leaned on the back bumper of Kyle Busch, shoved him out of the way, and Busch went spinning. Eric Jones and Christopher Bell were also collected in that incident. Racing news, all drivers continued. But Kyle Busch, he was furious. What followed was an outburst on team radio. Busch's spotter, Derek Nealand, attempted to calm everyone down. The spotter told the crew, "Listen, we got to keep the glue together. We're only halfway through." But Busch was not having it. The No. 8-team communications became animated. Radio frustrations had mounted through the race's first half, with Busch, first-year crew chief Jim Pullman, spotter Derek Nealand, all striving to solve the handling problems, with Busch specifically asking for help with rear grip. NASCAR crew chief Pullman was also losing it on the radio. He literally asked, "What is the freaking problem? Is the thing sideways, or is it plowing?" The car was bad, the team was stressed, and now Herbst had made it personal. Okay, 2. Kyle Busch's situation in 2026. Now here's the thing you need to understand. This is not the Kyle Busch of 10 years ago. Busch ranks 24th in Cup Series standings, mired in one of the slowest starts of his career. Since winning the pole position for the season-opening Daytona 500, Busch has managed a best 2026 finish of 12th place at COTA. Sunday's result at Bristol was his 4th consecutive finish outside the top 20. NASCAR, think about that. 2-time Cup Series champion, one of the greatest short-track racers of all time. And he is running 24th in points. While Busch's winless streak has now entered the triple digits, his last race win came at Worldwide Technology Raceway in 2023. Pro Football Network, over 100 races without a win. That is brutal. That is pain. You could feel that frustration boiling at Bristol all day long. Act 3. The revenge move for laps to go. Lap 498 of 505. Kyle Busch made contact with Riley Herbst, a move that brought out a caution and forced overtime in the Food City 500. Heavy, with just 4 laps to go, Busch pushed on the back bumper of Herbst. Racing news, Herbst hit the wall. Caution flew. And the entire race flipped upside down, because here is who was leading at that moment. Ty Gibbs was out front, closing in on what would have been his first career Cup Series victory. The yellow flag forced an overtime restart and placed Gibbs under immediate pressure from Ryan Blaney. Heavy, think about that. Kyle Busch's revenge move nearly cost Ty Gibbs, the guy who replaced him at Joe Gibbs Racing, his first ever Cup Series win. The irony, it's absolutely unreal. Despite the challenge, Gibbs held his line and secured his first career win in the NASCAR Cup Series. Heavy, Ty Gibbs won. But it could have gone the other way very, very easily. Act 4. Denny Hamlin weighs in now. Every big NASCAR moment has a Denny Hamlin take, and this one did not disappoint. Denny Hamlin explained the intent behind the move on his actions. Detrimental podcast. It's not short track racing. He wanted to pay him back. Did you listen to the team radio? They had met their fun quota on the day. Heavy Hamlin also revealed what he heard from the team radio before the first incident, before Herbst hit Busch. Hamlin described it. Riley Herbst got into him. They were telling Riley Herbst right before he got into Kyle, saying drive right into his left rear, and they literally drove into his left rear. Didn't take much, he barely touched him, but nonetheless, it ended in Kyle Busch spinning and getting crashed. Heavy, so this was not an accident. The team told Herbst to hit Busch, and Herbst followed orders. So when Busch got his revenge, can you really blame him? Hamlin said. Kyle saw an opportunity and he took it. Did I have a problem with it? Yes and no, but more no than yes. I don't love the blatant retaliation, but I'm more no than yes. Heavy, even Denny Hamlin. A man who has seen everything in NASCAR said he mostly understood it. As CT5 NASCAR steps in now, here is where it gets interesting. NASCAR was watching. NASCAR Cup Series Managing Director Brad Moran said the sanctioning body would address the Busch Herbst contact directly, even without issuing penalties. NASCAR ultimately chose not to penalize Busch, but Moran's comments signaled the incident crossed into territory that warranted further review and follow-up. Heavy. Cup Series Managing Director Brad Moran confirmed he would be having a chat with Busch after Sunday's race at Bristol, which saw Busch make contact with Riley Herbst to bring out a Latrace caution and force overtime. Oval Insider, no penalty, but a conversation is coming. And it was not just the Busch Herbst drama. The Bristol weekend kept officials busy all around, with Moran's colleague Mike Ford confirming he also has to have a conversation with a driver after. Christian X wrecked Corey Heim in the Truck Series race. Oval Insider Bristol was absolutely wild this weekend, on every level, every series. At a track like Bristol, that line between hard racing and going too far is razor thin. This time, NASCAR is letting the results stand, but making sure the message is still delivered. Heavy Act 6, the bigger debate now. Here is the real question that NASCAR is wrestling with. Where is the line? On the Teardown podcast, Jeff Gluck asked, "Is that fair game, what Kyle Busch did?" We talk about intentional wrecking and stuff like that. That caused a potentially race-altering caution. But he did get turned by Riley Herbst early in the race.
On 3, Jordan Beyonce pointed to the gray area NASCAR continues to wrestle with. This is the problem.
You want the rough and tumble? You want the eye for an eye? You want the short track racing? He did me dirty. I got one coming back. But you're going to have moments like this. Can't have it both ways. Heavy, and that is 100% true. If NASCAR wants the old school racing, it's a bumping and banging and payback culture, then moments like this will happen. You cannot have both things. So let's wrap this up. Kyle Busch got wrecked intentionally by Riley Herbst on lap 312. The team literally told Herbst to drive into his left rear. Kyle Busch waited. And with 4 laps left, he made Herbst pay. The caution changed the entire race. Ty Gibbs nearly lost his first win because of it. NASCAR called it a gray area. It's no penalty, but a very important conversation is coming. Busch finished 2 laps down in 25th place, his 4th consecutive finish outside the top 20 this season. NASCAR, this is a legend who is clearly struggling, a team that is falling apart on the radio, a driver who has over 100 races without a win. And yet, Kyle Busch still has that fire, still has that rowdy mentality. He will not go quietly. Question is, can he turn this around? That is all for today. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like, it means everything. If you are not subscribed yet, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you never miss a NASCAR breakdown like this. Comment below, was Kyle Busch right or wrong? I want to see the debate. See you in the next one.